Hello, everyone. Today also we'll be having our session, like the usual session. And today I thought of taking the topic in terms of like one facet of our mind. So you will know what we are talking about once we start our discussion. And it's about like, if you have seen in your mind, like it's constantly asking for more and more. And that will be today, we'll be having that discussion, because Vipassana is about you seeing through your mind. I don't know any other Vipassana other than that. You see through your mind and start noticing everything that is happening. So today will be based on this topic. So Puneet, hi.
Hi.
So yes. So today today we'll be having this discussion on like, if you have noticed, Puneet, I always share with you, this mind is like a bottomless begging more.
Yes,
Yeah.
I read through your books. Yeah, your book
Yeah.
have that specific chapter which talk about the mind is a begging bowl. So yeah.
Yeah. I could add something to that. Mind is like a bottomless begging bowl.
Okay.
The reason why
Bottomless
I say
begging bowl.
exactly. The reason why
Why is bottomless begging bowl?
yeah. The reason why it's bottomless is not that there's a bottom. It's because if you have noticed, Punita, like in our life, so what happens, like, let's say you have something, you have a begging bowl here. Do you know what
Okay.
is a begging bowl, by the way?
Yeah. I know.
That is what the monks used to bring, like whenever they go and go for like, food, they just beg for food. Like if you take monks, they just go around in houses begging for
Mhm.
food. And
Mm.
like, so monks, what they use is a begging bowl. It's like something like this. Whatever they put, the like people around, like wherever they go, the house, the people comes out, they will be putting the food inside this bottom, this begging bowl. And so, like, what happens if this begging bowl is bottomless? There's no bottom into it. What will happen to it when the
Mhm.
food will be put into it?
It go down.
It goes
Either.
down, right? It
Mhm.
will not stick in the begging bowl.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, that is what will happen. It's obvious. So let me tell you something. That's exactly what is
Mm-hmm.
happening with our mind as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you have noticed, your entire life is about filling, trying to fill this begging bowl
Mm.
without understanding that
Yeah,
this
because it
cannot be
goes away.
filled.
We feel.
Exactly. It just goes on.
Mm.
Someone's life could be, if you take someone's life, their entire life is going around trying to fill this begging bowl, which never gets filled because it just goes right out, you know, just
Mm.
that simple. The people think, oh, maybe the next thing, maybe the next thing, it will fill my begging bowl, which
Mm.
never happens. And I am the first, I could say, I tried to fill this begging bowl my entire life, you know, and
Mm.
I could never feel it. Just like that, I realized, oh my God, there's something off here. Like it just goes out. For example, let's take that I used to have this, like, I love food, you know, and then like in the past, I used to go around like trying different dishes, like maybe Mexican, maybe Indian, the Japanese, and the Thai, and many different dishes. And then whenever I go and try Mexican, even before I try the Mexican, the mind is like, what about the next one?
Mm.
What about Japanese? And then I go try Japanese. And then what about the Thai? Okay, I try Thai. And then I go and try Indian, This
Mm.
just goes on. It's just like it will never feel satisfied.
Mm.
Let me take another example for you. Let's say that, like, if you take someone's life, the conditioning of someone's life, first what they do is they, like, this is what they all also doing in their entire life. The conditioning is all about that, like they think that when they get the degree, they will be happy, they will be satisfied,
Yes.
and then they are like, this is it, that's it. And then they are like, oh no, you need to get a job out here. Okay. And then you go and get the job. And then you're like so miserable inside. And this is it? Like, yeah. And then like, yeah, that's it. Like, oh, okay, maybe like since don't feel so nice, like, why don't you get a marriage? Like, why don't you have like a marriage? And then you
Mm.
try that, and then you and then you feel this no. And then you try having a child,
Mm.
No, that won't give, but that will give a more quality level of like some sort of a relief for the time being. But I'm saying that it will not last, like it will not make you feel fulfilled or content
Mm.
inside. And this goes on. And then, okay, maybe I don't have a house and that's why, and then you get a house.
Yes.
And then, oh, maybe it is the country is the problem. That's why I'm unhappy. And then you
Mm.
move to another country,
Mm.
still not so
Move to another
happy.
job.
Exactly. Move to another
Marry
partner.
again.
This is it. Yeah, so it just goes on. You
Mm.
know? So, like, you can play with this whole thing, but with awareness. You can
Mm.
start seeing, wow, this is what my mind does. And I remember when I was seeking the truth, I could see this in my mind. I was literally seeing it, wow, like it just does not get satisfied. It
Mm.
just goes out. It's a matter of time it will start asking the next day. Maybe even a little 2 minutes, 3 minutes, like let's say you want to travel somewhere, like let's say you want to travel to Japan, and then you
Mm.
travel there. Even before you land in Singapore, you would be in your mind would be like, this next,
What is next? Yeah.
next. So it doesn't end.
Yeah.
This goes on. And when you realize that, like, like, okay, let me tell you, like, so you must be thinking if this is the case, isn't there
Mm.
any way how you can be
Yes,
content?
that's what my mind was asking. Like, oh, this is the way of mind, and what is the thing I must do in order to have that? Yeah.
Yeah. Let me tell you the day I really felt complete and I really felt content. It was
Mm.
on 2019 November, the day I got awakened.
Mm.
That is the exact date I felt like complete. And so content that I can't even express that in my words. I was such in a place.
Is it sustained for until every the next moment?
Do
It's
you
just
ask
once
if
hap-
it
yeah, yeah. Once
of
it's
course
happened.
it is always underlined that there. It's also always under it's like operating system, you know. Now in the past operating system was based on mind. Now the operating system is based on through through the truth. It is coming from a different source.
Okay.
So the operating system is running always. If you get what I'm trying to say with that example, it's always
Mm.
underlying there.
Mm.
So you feel that's why you can finally stop and start enjoying little things in life. Otherwise,
Mm.
your mind is, what is the next day? What is the next? What is the next? What is
Yeah,
the next?
even my mind is like my mind stop about the most of the material life, but now it's come again in the spiritual life. It's asking what
Exactly.
I must do next, what I will get from, what is next, how to get enlightenment.
Yeah. Now that is what sometimes I share with people. That is the same energy, the same desire you had for power, money, prestige, fame,
Mm,
now it has changed to a different object, enlightenment, meditation,
mm,
spirituality,
mm,
chakra healing. And,
mm,
now the same desire has gone into this, but at least this is for quality desires. But let me tell you something, Puneet, okay? Here's another, like if you take another facet. Now, what I was explaining to you is this mind cannot feel satisfied ever. The reason is, but I want to share this because it just came into my mind. How can you ever be satisfied with an imaginary boyfriend?
mm.
You know,
Imaginary, why you mention imaginary?
imaginary means, Punita, you're just projecting and you're creating. You're creating it.
Okay.
Like let's say you're eating a burger or like the healthy salad, let's take, because I don't want to promote junk here. Like let's say you're eating a salad. How can you get ever satisfied with the imaginary salad? That is why people, because in reality, Punita, there's no
Hmm?
substance to this. How can this particular thing fulfill your desire? That's why. That is the underlying reason. If you really understand what I'm saying, like if it's so imaginary, if it's just creation of your own mind, like let's say if if whatever is being created
Hmm?
by dreamlike materials, like if you take when you're sleeping at night, when you wake up, where did it go? Because it's just created from dreamlike, it's like dreamlike substance. It just appears and disappears
Hmm.
to nothingness. You know. So this is also something like that. It's just a projection of your own image, a picture, a drawing, I would say. So how could you ever get satisfied with this? For
Hmm.
example, if you take a theater, they have a projection and then they have the pixels. There's no real actors or actresses there. They're just pixels.
Hmm.
So that is the same thing. It's not something for real. Like it's not someone like actor or actress. It's just creating from that lighting, and then there's a process which is happening there. So just like that, there's no true person there. There's
The
no true
problem is in the
process there.
theater, we are just a watcher. But then in the reality, in my reality, I'm also playing a role inside that. So I cannot see that as a projection because I'm also part of it, like playing a role.
Yeah. Yeah, Punita, until you are there as a solid self, you will start seeing other people as solid people. Like, that is why once you are gone, others go. That's why I said,
Mm.
like, everything is gone. The time of the awakening for me, it was everything just gone. And for the first time, you see the reality as it is.
Then all the attachment gone about the life, material, life, and everything.
Okay, I will ask you a question for that also. Okay. Let's say, Punita, like you're going to walking on a desert.
Mm.
You're just walking on a desert.
Okay.
And then you're so thirsty. You
Mm.
want some real, like, have you seen these, like, Disney cartoons and things like that? We tend to see that, like, you go on a desert and you're so thirsty, and then you start seeing water somewhere, like a waterfall, like a magical just water just appears, and then you're like, oh my God, this is so good. And then you're so thirsty, obviously. And then you're just running towards it. Oh my God, let's just get so water, let's go for it. And then when you're running towards it,
Mm.
halfway through you start seeing there was not a waterfall, it was a mirage.
Oh.
Mirage means that it's creation. It creates like illusion. Have you noticed that? Do you know what is a mirage? Where it shows like there's water, but it's in reality there's no water. Haven't you
Mm.
seen? I've seen that mirage. You don't need to go to a desert. You start seeing that even when I'm like going on the road, like I start seeing mirage. And now my question is, will you still run in towards that?
No.
So that is the answer for your question. What do you ask?
Mm.
Because you saw the reality
Mm.
of it. Now you will now now do you need the enlightened teacher come and tell you to stop?
All these things only can happen after enlightenment. Means what I can do to go towards enlightenment.
Be conscious on it. Every moment to moment, moment to moment, be conscious. You know, whatever you're seeking, also seeking you. That's the best part. And it's constantly knocking on the door, but you're not available. The day you are available, it just comes in. It always wants to come in the whole time. Let me tell you one thing, okay? When I awoke, I was like how come for 28 years I didn't see this? How come I was so deceived by my mind for 28 years? How that was even possible? That was my biggest question. I was like, oh my God, like I couldn't believe it, like how the mind was deceiving me so. It's just such a the mind played it perfectly well. It just did the perfect job because that's what the mind does. Like it keeps you alive in the illusion. It won't let you. This is an illusion. It won't let you sense this is an illusion. That is game player here. That is what it creates the whole thing. That's so interesting.
In what way, like we are locking our doors?
So many thoughts and desires. Way too many thoughts. It's like clouds.
Okay.
It's just blocking the way.
So it's like my responsibility to help it to reduce the thoughts, like not getting through my understanding.
It's like one thing, Punita, you need to understand your mind. Like you can't you can't do with this like this is a remote controller, right? You can do whatever with this remote controller with the air conditioner. You can reduce it and you can increase, decrease, whatever you can do it with that. But let me tell you, Punita, you can I can do that because I have the ownership and I can do it with this, but if you take your mind, your mind, you can't increase your thoughts, you can't reduce your thoughts, you can't do all that. You know, the reason is because your mind is not in your control, because it's not you. Now, what you think is mind is you, right? But your mind is not you, so it is not in your control. So you like maybe you're thinking, okay, let me try to contain reduce the thoughts. That doesn't happen that way. What needs to happen is you need to understand every tactic that is played by this mind. You know, because think that the mind is like, oh my God, she's taking it. You can't do that
Yeah,
anymore.
I can
You know,
see that.
it
Like
drops.
if I do
It
this,
drops.
it create this. If I do this, I always seeing that. Like, oh, you come this way, so I'm not going to do this anymore. So I'll try in another way. Like,
Exactly. Yeah. So what happens if you put a flashlight into a thief? Like, let's say a thief trying to come and like, you know, like steal the things in the house or something like that. What you do is you just put a torch into the face of the thief. What do you think the thief would do?
no.
Run away. You know, definitely run away. Exactly the same thing. You know, your mind also playing this very nicely. You know, but whenever you put the consciousness, like a flashlight, the mind can't take it. Like it just run away. Oh, and she got it. She got it. You know, let's run away, and it just like disappears. Like you know, so that's the only way to understand every tactic that is played by the mind. This is very, very subtle, Punita. That's
Yeah,
why
it's like I don't have my mind. Similar. No, nobody is here. It's like every then it's come from where? It's like I can't understand. Nobody is around me, but then my mind is also not me. Then it's from where? It comes from where? Automatically coming. Like
let's say where does this whole dream, like if you take in like wherever when you are sleeping at night, where did it come and where did it go? Same, like same essence, you know, same. Like if you take your dream state, what is being created, the dreams, figures, and all that, there's no substance to that. You get what I'm saying? So just like that, this whole thing also, there's no substance to it.
why in the daytime everything continuing, but the night dream is like stops there. But then the day is like tomorrow it continue. It's continue to dream the same dream.
Yes, so
Like
because
episode.
episode, yeah, because otherwise you like, how can the mind needs to make it that way? Otherwise, you will see, like you will figure it out. Then that is the loophole. There's a loophole. This is a perfect creation. The creator is so like unbelievably intelligent that it is being created in the perfect manner. You know?
All this also created by the creator.
By the creator, so one day you will again remember that, I created the whole thing. You're like, yeah, like when I awoke, I was like, what kind of a joke is that? Played on me.
But you have no choice, right? You continue to play the game. If this entire
no, it's what else? What else? Like just like this Hinduism, it says their life is a leela, which is it's a play. You can play it nice then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if mind is a bottomless begging bowl, how we
Mhm.
can control and make ourselves aware of it, and then how to stop having more and more desires.
Become aware. See what it does to you.
Mm-hmm.
See how it drags you like a slave.
Mm.
You know, it shows you something, and you go after that like a slave.
Yes.
You know, and then it shows another thing, and then you again like going after that like a slave.
Mm.
And it continue to do showing carrots everywhere, and then you're just running, and then you start seeing the whole process. Ah, here we go. The mind is doing this. Here comes the next thing.
Most of us don't even know how to be aware. So if anyone asks you how to be aware, what will be your answer for them?
How to be aware.
Mm.
You mean like for a beginner?
Yeah.
I think the one that I'm talking today is a little advanced
Mm-hmm.
because you need to start seeing through your mind, and
Okay.
that is something advanced because if you take mind, it's like it's not something visible, like you can see it here. It's something very visible. You're working with your mind, the
Yes.
most subtle thing
Yeah.
in the
Even
world.
to
It's so
see the
subtle.
mind, what it does, we need to detach from a bit, create a distance, right? Otherwise, we can't even see what is happening because we already identify with it. Then we cannot really like if the distance is a bit far, then can see more clearly, more clear, more
Yeah,
clear.
if you have like space between them, but if you're so involved in it,
So
yeah,
still and
yeah, yeah,
it's like a bit can see a bit more can
yeah.
see. No,
But
no,
but Punita, let me ask you, like compared to the past, how much now you can see it?
I can
Like a
see the
lot.
whole thing, and I won't fall for the same trap again. I will be. It's like similarly, if something happened, it's a lot of different tricks it used to make
Yeah,
me fall into the trap.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So I can see that I'm not even like I come out from one thing and then try another thing, another thing, another thing.
yeah, yeah. But do you
So,
see that more you become aware that is falling off from you, that your
mm,
mind can't really drag you into these things anymore? So
yes.
you're already progressing, In the past, you must have lost in doing this like a slave to whatever the mind says. So now you
Mm,
can see it. Some of the unnecessary and unwanted chaos creating behaviors now start falling off
mm,
because of your mindfulness. Yeah.
mm,
So for a beginner, I could say anchor yourself in the body.
mm. Okay.
You're becoming
I
aware of
feel
what
the
is,
body.
yeah. Like for example, let's do it now, because I feel like when we do things in the session itself, even for people who is watching this could be very much benefited by it.
Yes.
Okay, let's take,
Mm-hmm.
okay, now really do it with me, okay? So,
Okay, I do.
yeah,
I do
yeah.
it. Okay.
So do
Okay.
you feel,
Close my eyes.
yeah, okay. So do
Okay.
you feel your feet
Yeah.
touching the floor? Yeah, do you feel that your feet is touching the floor?
Yes.
And now be with it. Now I want you to take that awareness into your palm. And now feel your palm. Now that you're sitting on a chair, now feel your butt touching your chair. Now just stay in tune with how you feel in your tummy. Is there any sensation? And be with it. Now see whether the palms that you feel. Now see whether you can feel the whole arm with the palm. You might feel some tingling sensation. Now see whether you can extend this until into your face and your head. Now if you feel the entire thing, now start feeling your upper body. feel of your back touching the chair. Now feel the entire thing, arms, and your head, face, and your body. So now feel your lower tummy, and then with the legs, extend that until to the entire body. Now you could be feeling the entire body is like vibrating with energy. And so much aliveness inside you. Feel the sensations in your body and how alive your body is and how we are missing it moment to moment, even though there's so much aliveness in us. Because we are so trapped in our mind. It's vibrating with energy. And we miss this all the time. So you can take 3 deep breaths. And you can open your eyes.
Oh my God, my leg.
You feel now, yeah? The leg.
I cannot feel my leg. Why like this?
That happens,
Couldn't feel my leg.
So, okay. And so, Punita, do you have any more questions?
Just be
Or did you
aware.
feel,
Just,
did you like, let me say, okay, did you feel that you were anchored in your body?
yes.
This is what I'm talking. As a beginner, they can always do this. When they're walking, they can focus on their feet. And they're sleeping, they can feel the body touching the bed.
I will ask sometime the question like, who's the one feeling the body? Is it the right question? I don't know from
That is
where I
that is
learned.
what you need. That is exactly what you need to figure out.
Yeah, I will
And that is
ask and then
that
I
is
will
the
find.
whole journey. Now you feel like Punita is doing that, right?
Mm,
If you really, that is the whole journey that we are going in this journey to figure out who is that. Yeah. So for those who wants to, like, as you asked for the question, how to be conscious,
mm-hmm.
this is a real practice as a beginner that you can start doing immediately.
Okay.
So let's take, and also you can also do something where, like, let's take you're just about to drive and you get into the car and you close the door and you stay for like 30 seconds, focused on your breath. You're not rushing towards the next thing. You're just being
Mm.
in that moment. You're taking some space between.
Yeah, I realized that if I never rush, I'm like doing things slow down, then I can become more conscious.
Yeah. And also you will do a quality job if you're being very conscious.
Mm.
Yeah. So you can take pauses, you take some time. There's
Mm-hmm.
no rush anyway. You can
Yeah,
like,
we are like,
okay.
we don't know where we are running. We are like, suddenly, if
And
the
what did you
awareness
gain
comes
from this
into,
run? What, like, the question is, Monita, what did you even gain from this run?
yeah,
Running, but like,
mm,
there's nothing. It's literally just gain through that. Just stress and exhaustion and tired and everything. Like, where are we running? We're so in a hurry. That's what I realized, like in the past, when I go back
mm,
to years before. I was running for a like moment. Sometimes I stop and where am I running? Because like that's what I'm saying. Like especially when I was in the university,
mm,
when I'm doing the lecture, I'm thinking about the next thing that I'm going to do.
mm.
And when I go to that next place, maybe I want to have the dinner, and then I'm thinking what to do next.
Yeah,
I
we
was
won't
never
get,
in the moment. I was never in the present moment. That's why I'm saying that sometimes when I'm explaining how I used to be in the past, I could say I was dead. I was not truly living. Because the reason is you're thinking, you're thinking because you're so in here, you don't
mm,
know what's going on in like just right next to you. Maybe there's a person who's right in front of you talking to you, but you're
mm,
still caught up in your mind. You don't even
mm,
hear what the other person is saying. You know, like the other person might be smiling at you, but you're still in your mind so much. So you're not really present with the person.
mm.
And this is the entire life. If you take your entire life is missing, like you never enjoy the present moment ever.
Mm. So for
It's
now,
always in a rush.
our
Yeah,
responsibility is trying to be in the present moment. Do whatever that brings us into a present, right?
exactly. Yeah. So when a breeze comes in, like let's say a breeze, just you just go to the beach, and then the breeze comes in, and you just fully experience that.
Mm.
You're connecting with the nature, and it's so soothing. But how much like the breeze comes and go, but you're still so caught up in your mind. You didn't
Cannot
even feel
feel.
that the breeze. No, no,
Mm.
you were so caught up. And maybe there's a beautiful flower right in front of you, you don't see it. You're just walking past by because you're so caught up in your work and your mind. Oh, I need to do the next thing, you will go for that. But there's a beautiful flower, you don't even know this. And sometimes I see like the sky is so magical, but people don't get to see it. They're rushing, running in a hurry. They themselves aren't aware where they are rushing towards.
Yes.
And there is never ending.
Yeah.
And so this is about coming in back to life. Like those people are like, I get this question all the time for some reason, what was like before and after, how it used to be. This question comes again and again.
Because of the curiosity.
Yeah, like before I could say, Punita, now, as a truth seeker, how you feel, you're never in the moment. You know, you're thinking about the next thing, and you're so caught up in up here. And that's what that's me. It's pretty much the same. Like however you, as a truth seeker, how you live your life, same before. And then you feel like you're separate and there are other people and we are in sort of like a competition. And we are in a survival game. And I need to be the best. I need to do better than the other person and this and that. And then you recognize that the other and everything else is just connected. Just like these 5 fingers, you know. This finger might start thinking, having a conflict with the other finger thinking, or like some conflict. You know, but if you see deep inside, it's just the one hand. Deeply, it's just if you go deeper, it's just the one hand. So just like that, it's just you're so deeply connected with everyone and everything else. And that's the reason why like empathic people, they start feeling how other people are feeling. Where's the separation between you and me? It's just all one singular, like one consciousness. Like let's say, Puneet, the when you're having a dream, all the figures, you know, there'll be so many figures, like the dream that you're explaining that past, you know, where you're saying that the people were there, like they were murdering and all that, there was a staircase. Everything is being created from the same consciousness, right? Same substance as the dream state. You know, there's the same, do you see that there's the same substance? It just, everything is just created by the same thing, same substance. It's just figures appearing and disappearing. Like the movie always being created by pixels. Okay, so it's just the same thing. You and me, everything is the creation of the consciousness. It's just the one entire consciousness. But our mind creates these distinctions. Oh, this is mobile, you know, this is a laptop and I'm separate from this. But it all, distinction, you know, the separation is created by our mind. But in reality, there's no separation or boundaries as such. It's all created by the same substance.
Is called oneness? Like everything is one?
Yes, yes. And that is a place where you can't force into that oneness. And if you, like in the
If
past,
there is it like if there is no mind, then it will become everything is one?
yeah. Mind is the
Here
one
what
which
I
gives
see is
permission.
everything is mind. what I
Yes,
feel, what I, every experience, even
yes.
sensation, everything.
Even Puneta, let me tell you something, even to hear what you are hearing now, right now,
Mm,
those people are who hearing this. This is a very rare teaching, and they're so lucky to even hear this.
mm,
This is unbelievably rare. People die even without hearing. Keep
mm,
aside realizing this. Forget about realizing. People have no idea. Like they just die even without hearing this. So,
yes.
okay, then our time also up. So we'll wind up the session for it.
Thank
Okay,
you
then
so
have a
much,
great
Dilmi.
day. Take care.